Today's program is brought to you by pennystockprofessor.com. For all the best OTCBB stock picks, sign up at pennystockprofessor.com.
Thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. Francis Total signed a $2.25 billion tie-up with Chesapeake Energy, becoming the latest international oil major to take advantage of low gas prices to snap up shale gas assets. Total said that it would take a 25% stake in Chesapeake Barnett shale gas fields in Texas, paying $800 million in cash and providing a $1.45 billion towards the field development over up to 6 years. Analysts said the deal made sense for France's largest company by market value and that the process was in line with recent transactions. Shares in Total were up 1.8% at 45.80 euros by 12:31 GMT, just ahead of a 1.6% gain in the DJ Stocks European Oil and Gas Sector Index, SXEP. Chesapeake shares rose 5.2% in pre-market U.S. trade.
U.S. stocks quickly ratcheted higher on the first day of trading as the dollar sank and the price of commodities rose. The Dow Jones rose 148 points, or 1.4%, to 10576 in early trading as the tech-heavy NASDAQ also rose 1.4%. The S&P also in the green as it climbed to 1.2%. All of its commodities were trading up. Boosted by rising commodity prices, the material and energy sectors led the measure. Reassuring a pattern that trailed off at year's end, U.S. stocks climbed as the dollar fell. The U.S. dollar index dropped by 0.5%. Meanwhile, the price of oil climbed above $81 per barrel as gold futures rose. Hedge funds heavily involved in commodities and currencies that stepped back from trading in December have returned to the market. The Dow's climb was boosted Monday by data from the Institute for Supply Management showing a bigger than expected upstick in manufacturing activity during December, helped by improving production and ordering activity.
Investors looking to cash in on a U.S. retail comeback will need to be as selective as the shoppers who have scoured stores and websites for the best deals this holiday season. When the U.S. economy was humming, investors could place reasonably safe bets on a retail stock index since the frowning consumption lifted most names, said Patricia Edwards, founder of wealth management firm Storehouse Partners. Over the past year and a half, as the economy has gone south, it's really separated the men from the boys in retail, she said. It is so much more of a stock picker's market, you have to absolutely know the companies and walk stores. Edwards' stock picks include chains that get shoppers to buy, and with good margins such as Target Corporation, Walmart Stores Incorporation, Costco, and Kohl's. She said J. Crew Group Incorporation did phenomenally well with attractive clothing and a little discounting that left shelves largely bare the day after Christmas by some accounts, while Abercrombie and Fitch stores were not crowded. Other industry experts pointed to Gap Incorporation, which made a big bet on plaid, and Urban Outfitters, which drew young buyers with sparkly tops and simple blazers, as outpacing rivals this season.
Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke cracked the door open a bit more to the idea of raising interest rates if new financial bubbles emerge. He also mounted a vigorous defense against critics who say it was the Fed's low interest policies over the last decade that caused the last housing bubble. Instead, he said, the problem was lax regulation, which permitted banks to issue a slew of exotic mortgages that households later had trouble paying. The Fed's view on asset bubbles are slowly changing. Earlier this decade, when Mr. Bernanke was a federal governor, he and the other central bank officials said financial bubbles weren't something the federal government could identify or prepare for effectively. Its focus was on keeping inflation and unemployment low. Its bubble strategy was to mop up after a bubble burst with lower interest rates to prevent damage to a broader economy.
Business activity in the U.S. Midwest expanded far more than expected in December, hitting its highest in nearly 4 years on a massive recovery in employment and accelerating new orders. The Institute for Supply Management said on Wednesday its business barometer rose to 60 from 56.1 in November, marking its highest reading since January 2006. The result was much better than analyst median forecast of 55 and was marked by an eye-popping jump in the report's gauge of employment, which has been at the top worry as the economy recovers from the recession in decades.
Financial markets staged a remarkable recovery in 2009. Coming back after the brink of disaster thanks to unprecedented efforts by governments around the globe, the question now facing investors is how the markets will stand on their own in 2010. After tumbling 25.4% to a 12-year low in March, the Dow Jones Industrial Average staged a blistering rebound to finish the year up 18.8% at 10428.05. The S&P rose 23.5% to 1115.10 in 2009. And it wasn't just big stocks that rallied. Encouraged by government efforts to restart the financial system and stimulate the economy, investors who had fled from all but the very safest investments in 2008 dove back into the most volatile stocks and bonds, racking up big gains along the way. Going into the new year, the economy seems to be showing enough momentum that few investors fear a sudden dip back into recession, although most still expect a very slow recovery.
World number 1 Maria Sharapova is interested in trying her hand at designing clothing. The Russian player who left her fashion mark wearing gold tennis shoes in Wimbledon in 2005 doesn't want to be a model but plans to focus on design instead. Ranked number 14 in the world, Sharapova has attracted a huge online fan base, in part for her striking looks, and is often featured in magazines as a model. Top 10 trading stocks for January 2010 are Neighbors Industry, NBR, Marvel Technology Group, MRVL, U.S. Steel, trading symbol X, On Semiconductor, ONNN, Adobe Systems, ADBE, Carnival, CCL, Cisco Systems, CSCO, eBay, EBAY, General Electric, GE, Corning, GLW.
Have you been denied a credit card, car loan, mortgage, apartment rental, or even a cell phone? Your credit score is probably under 720. Change your score and change your financial future with Philip Tyrone's 7 Steps to a 720 Credit Score. We'll show you how to raise your credit score for free. In just weeks, this simple system can get you approved and save you money.
That knocked our interest rates down from 11% to 7%.
I ended up saving $2,500 a month.
The first 100 callers will get Philip Tyrone's groundbreaking book for free. Just pay processing. That's a $30 value, free. And if you call within the next 15 minutes, you'll get a free ticket to a phone-in seminar with Philip Tyrone himself. This exciting personal teleseminar will show you how to instantly improve your credit score and save money every month. Don't let a foreclosure, bankruptcy, missed payments, or short sale get in the way of your financial future.
Don't wait. To order, call 1-800-862-7840. That's 1-800-862-7840. Call now.
And now for today's green news, which we might as well call yellow news. Using hydrogen to power cars has become an increasingly attractive transportation fuel, as the only emission produced is water. But a major stumbling block is the lack of a cheap, renewable source of fuel. Geraldine Bottle of Ohio University may now have found the answer, using an electroanalytic approach to produce hydrogen from urine, the most abundant waste on Earth, at a fraction of the cost of producing hydrogen from water. Urine is mostly composed of urea, which incorporates 4 hydrogen atoms per molecule. Most importantly, they are less tightly bonded than the hydrogen atoms in water molecules. Scientists use electrolysis to break the molecule apart, developing an inexpensive new nickel-based electrode to selectively and efficiently oxidize the urea. To break the molecule down, a voltage of 0.37 volts needs to be applied across the cell, much less than the 1.23 volts needed to split water. There are so many good reasons to separate our waste. Solid waste composts faster with less odor, and both become valuable as different kinds of fertilizers. And our lakes and rivers don't have to be burdened by this if these so-called waste products can now be used as valuable resources.
Thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.